We're at E3!
Hey guys, this is Ben from Destructoid.com. I'm talking to Ryan and Josh, two of the men behind That Dragon Cancer. How are you guys doing today?
Really good, thank you.
Yeah, doing great.
So you're here at IndieCade showing off one of the most heartfelt games I have ever seen in my entire life. Do you guys want to talk about what That Dragon Cancer is and what you guys are trying to achieve with it?
Yeah, sure. That Dragon Cancer is about, my wife and I have 4 sons, all under the age of 8, 7, 5, 4, and 2. And our third son, Joel, has been battling terminal cancer for the past 3 years. And so this is a story of my son.
So this is a game we don't see very many games like at all. What, I guess, kind of made you want to tell this story in a game form?
Yeah. Well, it's not the first story that we told. Right from the very beginning, my wife and I had a blog for Joel to keep everybody that loves us up to date. And so we ended up talking about theology and poetry and art and all this stuff as well. And then we made a short film, and then we wrote a book. And so I'm a game developer by trade, and so I had a seed of an idea for the game, and it's something that I wanted to explore. I believe that we should choose the best medium to tell the story that we want to tell, and I think that there's something very special about video games.
So even playing the short demo you have here at the show floor, I was immediately taken in, and I was forced to feel, I believe, at least some of the pain that you guys have had to feel. Do you think that this is a good move for, I guess, games as a whole? Because we've seen a lot of this coming out lately, not fun games per se. Like, how do you feel about this trend?
I think that we should see each other as fellow humans. And I think that when you give your testimony, your story, people are allowed to see you just like they see themselves. And so I do think it's important, just so that people start seeing each other for who they are, rather than the label that's assigned to them.
So you guys have recruited a small team, 4 people, I believe?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that, Josh?
Of course, yeah. So what has been your contribution to the game as a whole?
Sure. We started development in November, and since then we've been experimenting with a number of different prototypes. One of them was kind of like we called it a living painting. So the idea was maybe it would be an art installation. We experimented with real-time cubism. We experimented with some other kind of more abstract prototypes. And we kind of landed on this direction after creating a prototype in Twine. So the two of us have kind of jumped back and forth between art and code and design and that kind of thing. And so right before GDC, we were working on a demo, and we met John Hillman, who's done all the sound and music, and then just recently brought on Nat Iwata for art going forward.
So the game itself plays as a vaguely point-and-click adventure. Was this always the direction you guys wanted to take on the game front, or have you thought about maybe other genres?
No, as we go, we discover new things about the story, and the adventure game is something we kind of fell into. It just made sense. Making that Twine prototype, it's a text adventure sort of thing, and we kind of fell into the heart of what we were trying to do. And so from there, we're going to kind of flesh it out as kind of a first-person walker, not really with puzzles, but with interaction.
So one thing that's always kind of intriguing about the game is the name, That Dragon Cancer. Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, after they told us that Joel was terminal, we started to have to talk to our kids about heaven, you know, and my wife told the boys at night a story about Joel fighting that great dragon, and that God might tell him that he did a good job and take him home, and but that he fought a good fight, you know, and my second son said, he's like, well, Joel's going to lose, and my wife was like, you know, like, what do you mean, Isaac? And he said, well, he's just a baby, and that's a really big dragon, you know? And so there's this idea that there are things in our life that are kind of, that overpower us. There are things that we can't conquer on our own, and we rely on grace to kind of come into the picture and to save us. And so I had the idea of That Dragon Cancer even before I knew what the game was going to be. I'm a Christian, and we see that, you know, in the Bible, that great accuser, Satan, is viewed as this great dragon. And so there's kind of this metaphysical as well as reality as well as fantastical element that kind of encompasses our journey. And so that's what we're exploring. is that very personal story of life in the shadow of death with faith.
If there's one word you can use to describe That Dragon Cancer, it's definitely personal. Do you guys have any plans for launch? Maybe a date when you guys are just going to call it and say it's done? Like, how can people play this game?
The hardest thing is that we don't know how it's going to end yet because Joel's life hasn't ended, and so we're looking out about a year right now, and we have a rough, loose plan for how we're going to structure the rest of the game. This is just one scene of about 7 that we're going to create, and it won't all be sad. It's not all going to be so heavy. Joel has an amazing laugh, and I'd love to put that in the game.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for talking with me. Thank you so much for making this game. It definitely feels important, to say the least. Any last thoughts for the people at home?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to just be part of the indie community.
Yeah, and IndieCade has been amazing in giving us the opportunity. We would have no way of being here otherwise. So it's organizations like this that allow us to have a voice and a seat at the table, and it's awesome.
Thank you so much. Everybody at home, check out That Dragon Cancer. Hopefully you'll be able to play it at some point. It's definitely one of the best games I've played at the show. And for the rest of your E3 news, keep it locked at Destructoid.com.